What's going on, guys? I decided to do something a little bit different. For the last few weeks, if you've seen my live streams, I've talked about showing off different parts of my merchandise and all that stuff. Figured I'd do a little bit something different with this video today. Today, right now, I believe is the, what's the date today? Today is September 18th. So, today's September 18th, so I figured, why not do something new throughout the course of, like, the next couple of videos or so. Go over a little bits of my merchandise that I have throughout my room. Because I really couldn't show it to you, because whenever I do my filming, I do it on my computer right here. So I don't really have that good of a webcam to extend out. But today, I'm going to tell you a lot about my wrestling merchandise. For a lot of people that don't know, I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling. As you can see, the Bray Wyatt Fiend sweatshirt. And obviously with the Monster Jam network thing that they got going on right now, I can't really post a whole lot of season highlights. I had to delete all mine, so figured why not try something different here. Gonna be going over a lot of my collection that I have right here right now. Gonna go over pretty much a lot of the titles and everything that I got. We're gonna start off here and work our way around to the end. And if you guys like this, please leave a comment. Please like, share, subscribe, anything. You know, I appreciate any bit of feedback. If you guys like what you see, please let me know what else you want to see. If you want to see, let's say, the Spin Masters. You guys want to see my die-cast collection. You guys want to see, I got a couple of flags here. I have, pretty much all kinds of stuff I'm willing to show off for people to see. And what do you have? Like, you know, please leave a comment on what you got, and I'm willing to see what you got. So if you want to do like a response video or anything like that, please feel free. You know, trying to do something good here. Obviously with the pandemic, not a whole lot going on. No shows, at least in Massachusetts. But right now, I'm going to show you all about my wrestling with the Intercontinental title. This is the title from 1988 to 1998. One of my favorite championships of all time. Some of the greatest have held this one. Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Razor Ramon. I believe the first person to hold this one was Tito Santana, I believe. Then we move on here to the Big Eagle with the WWF scratch logo. A lot of people give the belt makers in Pakistan shit because of the way how the belts are made. You see, I love all my belts that I got, but these belts here, these are all made from Pakistan. Two of them are made from a Facebook group that I will let you know in just a minute. This one here I got off of eBay for about $275. Extremely, extremely perfect. Metal plates, fantastic leather. I mean, yes, like the gold tip on there, obviously you can tell. But other than that, this title is really, really cool. This was debuted the night after WrestleMania 14 in 1998, except that it did not have the scratch logo yet. It was on a more purple-ish leather strap, and this logo was the block logo. And as you can see here, this is the scratch logo. The block logo would be right there. Then we move down to probably my all-time favorite world title, the Winged Eagle WWF World Title. The first person to debut this one was Hulk Hogan on the main event in 1988 when he faced off against Andre the Giant in that famous double referee showdown. A lot of the greats have held this. Randy Savage has held this. Ric Flair, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the last one to hold this title, and it's still no doubt one of my favorite titles. No doubt in the top two. The other one is actually in this collection, but these two belts here, the Winged Eagle and the Intercontinental title, they were made from Fight Night Belts. It's a Facebook group. Sammy makes some of the greatest wrestling titles ever. Good pricing too as well. He also has an eBay page. I don't know the eBay page, but I will post the link in the Facebook group if you guys want to check it out. Talk to Sammy, talk to the administrators on there. They're willing to work out prices. He's got pictures of all the belts that he's ever made. Really, really trustworthy guy. Won't screw you over or anything like that. I just got this one a couple of days ago, and I had to hang this one up. This is my third Winged Eagle I've had. I've had to sell the last two, but I am never selling this one or the Intercontinental or this one, because these are the titles I grew up with in the wrestling world, and there's just no way that they're ever going to be sold in any form of way. We then move on to these two world titles that I got off of WWE Shop. We have the current WWE title here, and we have the Universal title here. Now, I was not really a fan when both of these titles first debuted. Universal was SummerSlam 2016. This was the night after SummerSlam 2014 when they unveiled the new WWE logo. They got rid of the scratch logo. This title right now currently being held by Drew McIntyre on Raw. This is the Raw title before 2019. So the first person to hold this title was Finn Balor when he beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2016, but then he ended up getting hurt. Then there was that classic four-way match between Big Cass, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens won that one, and he held on to the title until February 2017 when Goldberg beat him for that. Good titles. I got these off of WWE Shop. One great thing that WWE has done since the pandemic has started is their title sales. So I got this for about $275, and I got this one for I believe about $250, because WWE ever since the pandemic has been doing a bunch of sales. So like 25% off titles, 30% off titles. It's always a good idea if you save up all your money, get a good chunk of money saved up, you can get yourself one of these bad boys. And also it comes with a bag. It comes with a belt bag, so you can take the belt out of it or leave it in there. We're going to move on here. These I got off of Amazon. These are the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team titles. I was never really a fan of the replica titles of these because, well, I just never really liked this design of it, especially when they were bronze at first. But funny story here, I got these off of Amazon, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get like certain deals and all that stuff. I actually got both of these for $150, both belts for $150. These aren't the replica titles, these are actually commemorative. So if you listen closely, these plates are actually plastic compared to the metal one that you can hear there. So, you know, I don't mind the commemorative titles. It's just that obviously if you want to go the cheap route and all that stuff, you have to keep an eye on the the product, so to speak. I love this one though because blue is one of my favorite colors, but if I had to choose, I'd definitely go with the red because red is my top two color and black is my other one, because even though everyone always says black is just a shadow, but I pretty much wear everything black. Gonna move on here. This is the old United States title. This is the 2014 one because it's got the new logo on there. But I've always loved this title when it first debuted in 2003, even though the heritage of the United States title goes back to at least like the 70s or the 60s with the NWA. A lot of great talents have held this particular title, though, of the United States title. John Cena comes to mind, Eddie Guerrero, Big Show, Carlito. Yes, I'm throwing Carlito on there. MVP, Matt Hardy, Rusev is another good one, Roman Reigns is another good one, Seth Rollins. A lot of great people have held on to this one. And the nameplate here, I got this nameplate off of a website called AJ's Belts. You're going to hear that name come up in a little bit later on, but I got this one off of WWE Shop because with the new United States title that just recently came out, they were selling the replica title for $175. $175, and that was even with a 25% off sale. So, obviously, this one has always been one of my favorite titles, so I just decided, you know what, why not get it? Change the nameplate on it, and go from there. This one I got last Christmas. This is the Oval Intercontinental title. This is one of my other favorite Intercontinental title designs, especially with that one there. But this one probably is one of my favorites. This is the third version, I believe, because it's got the WWE logo here. This belt originally debuted, I believe, in mid-1998. The Rock was holding onto this title. The logo here would have been the block logo of the WWF. And it would say World Wrestling Federation on it, and then as time went on, the scratch logo would take place. But then in 2002, I want to say, it switched to the WWE logo. This title retired for a while in 2002 before being brought back in 2003. A lot of great people have held on to this one. Kane has held on to it. Jeff Hardy, Triple H, Chris Jericho. I'm trying to think of who else here. Drew McIntyre was the holder of this title for a while. Cody Rhodes. A lot of great people have held on to this Intercontinental title. Ric Flair has even held on to this one. We're going to move on here. My first NXT belt. I'm trying to get some other ones. This is the NXT North American title, which, in my opinion, because one thing I love about Triple H and NXT, they try to bring back the old wrestling heritage. So, you know, you go back to the Florida territory days, you go back to the old territory days where they had the North American champion and everything else. This right here kind of brings me back to those days. First ever champion, North American champion, was Adam Cole when he defeated 5 other superstars in a ladder match at NXT TakeOver New Orleans in 2018. What a killer match that was. Then Ricochet has held on to this, Johnny Gargano. Keith Lee was the last person to hold on to this one before vacating it after he won the NXT title. And then that led to another ladder match at a TakeOver, which Damian Priest won that one. So, big shout out to Damian Priest. And this one right here for the final one on the wall, the Undisputed World Championship. By 2003, this belt was exclusive to SmackDown, and it became just the flat-out WWE title. This one right here debuted, I believe, the night after or the week after WrestleMania 18 when Triple H unveiled it after he beat Chris Jericho. And, no, after he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 18, because Chris Jericho was holding on to the Big Eagle and the WCW World Heavyweight title, that got scrapped. And then this belt, Ric Flair debuted on a Raw, and then Triple H had it. Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker. A lot of people say the best champion for this title was Eddie Guerrero. I agree with that one. A lot of great people have held on to this. John Cena was the very last person to hold on to this version of the WWE title before unveiling. We're going to move over to the table now. This, the WWE Spinner title. One of my all-time favorite belts here. I remember when this belt first debuted, around 2 weeks or so after WrestleMania 21 when John Cena beat JBL. JBL was going to destroy a customized title, which in turns out it was just a box of guts that John Cena gave to a JBL, and JBL for a while held on to that title after he had lost it to John Cena. John Cena held on to this title for quite a long time before losing it to Edge at New Year's Revolution 2006, and pretty much a whole big story there. This title lasted for close to 8 years, because this was from April of 2005 to January of 2013 when The Rock beat CM Punk at the Royal Rumble to win this title. And then it led to kind of like this belt here, but instead of that logo, it was the scratch logo. That belt was only around for a little more than a year before this belt got debuted. I mentioned before about AJ's belts. I'll leave a link in the description. AJ's Belts is such a great place to buy your belts. They do layaway plans. You put down a $25 deposit on any belt that you want. You PayPal them. There's some other Cash apps, I believe. Cash App is another one. There's quite a few other apps that you can use to pay for a belt. All you got to do is just drop down $25 and you are automatically putting money down for your title that you want. Just keep paying it as much as you can, and by the time you're done, you get your belt. This one right here, one of my other favorite titles, you're going to hear a little bit of noise. The WWE United States Spinner title. This one's kind of beat up, as you can see, a lot of creaks and cracks all over the belt. This one's kind of got some age to it. I bought this from a wrestling historian on Instagram. Very cool guy. He knows his wrestling history. I get a lot of wrestling knowledge from him, but this one right here, I know a couple of companies actually made this belt, and this one right here, definitely one of my all-time favorites when I was a kid, and especially with the fact that you got these two belts here. It's such a shame that John Cena was never a double champion while holding the United States title and the WWE title at the same time. That would have been really good. We're going to move on to this chair here. I just recently got this one from AJ's Belts, the Rated R Spinner Belt. Debuted the night after SummerSlam 2006. I'm just recently finding out that Edge wanted to create his own title, but this is what was given to him. I don't necessarily know if that's exactly true, but this one I got from AJ. Like I said, you just drop down $25 on any belt, and as long as you keep making the payments, you'll definitely get your belt. Very trustworthy guy, ships out very quickly. This is a very, very cool belt too. Kind of got some weight to it because these plates, these more recent tribute belts, are about 4 millimeters thick. And plus the WWE leather is not like the Pakistan leather where it's very foldy in a way. This leather here, about to lift this up, like you can see it kind of barely bending. And yeah, the belt is still kind of new, but I mean, it's still one of my favorite belts. And then to finish off the video, guys, we have got my top 1 favorite belt here. The big gold, the WCW World Heavyweight title. Debuted in 1986 when Ric Flair told Jimmy Crockett he wanted a new title. This is what he got, the big gold belt. It would have his nameplate right there. One of my all-time favorite wrestling titles along with the Winged Eagle. This belt here goes back to the old NWA days from 1986, and then I believe by 1990-91 this belt went... No, 91. Ric Flair left WCW to go to the WWF, and he took this belt with him. Then WCW got the belt back. Stayed with WCW for quite a long time. Some of the greats have held on to this title in WCW. Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, and then obviously a lot of negatives. Vince Russo has held this. David Arquette held this. But then you go to WWE. Triple H was the first one to bring this back. Goldberg held on to it. Batista, The Undertaker. A lot of great people have held on to this particular title. I wish this title did not go away. I mean, everybody likes the Universal, but I always love the Big Gold because that right there is just true wrestling history. But all these belts right here, guys, you can pick out which anyone you want. You can either get them replicated from WWE Shop, buy some from local websites or some of your buddies, or find the right group that makes belts overseas, and you can get yourself some nice quality straps here. I don't recommend anything, because I'm not going to be one-sided. I collect belts just as much as anybody. I'm going to get some more, and anytime whenever I do get one, I will probably make a video for you guys. But until then, these are my wrestling belts. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys want to see more stuff like this in the future, let me know. I will show off my Spin Masters. I'll show off my wrestling figures. Anything that you guys want to see, I'll gladly show it off for you guys and make another video with that. Until then, thank you everybody for watching. Please stay safe out there with this pandemic. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Have a good rest of the day, guys.